Welcome back to my channel Pocket Change Coins. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, you've come to the right place. First, we're diving into the world of the 1964 D Liberty 5 cents coin, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but could be worth a lot more than you'd think. Stick with us to the end of this video to discover the jaw-dropping value of this coin and why it's a must-have for collectors. The 1964 D Liberty 5 cents coin, also known as the 1964 Jefferson nickel, is part of the classic series of U.S. coins that features Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This nickel was minted in 1964, during a time when the United States was experiencing significant cultural and economic changes. The U.S. was in the midst of the 1960s, an era marked by civil rights movements, space exploration, and a growing sense of social and political change. This particular coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side, designed by Felix Schlag, which has been part of the Jefferson nickel design since 1938. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find a depiction of Jefferson's Monticello, his iconic plantation home in Virginia. The building itself is one of the most recognizable symbols of American history, reflecting Jefferson's architectural genius and his role as a founding father. While the design may seem standard for a Jefferson nickel, the key to the 1964 D Liberty 5 cents coin's value lies not in the design itself, but in its rarity and unique characteristics that make certain specimens highly desirable to collectors. When it comes to coin collecting, rarity is everything. Coins that were minted in large quantities often hold little value unless there's something special about them. That's where coins like the 1964 D come into play. The D on the coin signifies that it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. Mint's primary production facilities. The 1964 D Jefferson nickel, although produced in significant numbers, has a few key features that set it apart from other nickels from the same year, making it a sought-after piece for numismatists. One of these features is the coin's striking condition, which, when preserved properly, can significantly increase its value. So, what makes the 1964 D Liberty 5 cents coin stand out in the world of coin collectors? It's the combination of factors like minting errors, striking imperfections, and preservation quality. While most of these coins circulated freely and saw wear and tear, a well-preserved specimen or one with a minting error can be worth substantially more. Minting errors can occur in a number of ways, including off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks, and coins that exhibit these errors are often extremely valuable. But it's not just any 1964 D Liberty nickel that's worth a significant amount. Uncirculated coins, those that have never been in circulation or have only been lightly circulated, are far more valuable than coins that show signs of wear. If you happen to have one of these well-preserved, uncirculated specimens, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than its face value. Now, let's talk about the demand. Coins from the 1960s are a popular target for collectors because they represent a time of transition in U.S. history. Many collectors specifically seek out nickels from this era because of their iconic designs and historical significance. Plus, coins like the 1964 D Liberty nickel are part of a limited group, meaning the number of available specimens is gradually decreasing as time goes on, which only adds to their value. Let's take a moment to consider the value of a well-preserved 1964 D Liberty 5 cents coin. While the average circulated coin may not fetch much more than its face value of 5 cents, an uncirculated or error coin can be worth a small fortune. For example, a high-quality uncirculated 1964 D nickel, especially if it has been carefully stored and preserved, could fetch a pretty impressive amount. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: how much could a 1964 D Liberty 5 cents coin be worth? In rare cases, such as when the coin is in exceptional condition or has a rare minting error, it can fetch an astonishing price. Some of these coins have sold at auction for as much as $140,000, that's right, $140,000 for a single coin. This is the kind of rare find that makes collectors' jaws drop. Imagine stumbling across a 1964 D Liberty nickel that's worth such a huge amount. Whether it's a well-preserved, uncirculated coin or one with a rare error, this coin could be worth a small fortune. So, if you're a coin collector, keep your eyes peeled for the 1964 D Liberty 5 cents coin. It may seem like a simple nickel, but it could very well be a hidden treasure sitting in your collection or waiting for you to find it. Make sure to check the condition of your coins, especially if you have older Jefferson nickels. With a little bit of luck and some knowledge of what to look for, you could uncover a valuable gem that could put you in the money. Second rare coin, we're about to dive into the fascinating world of the 1987 Liberty 5-cent coin, also known as the 1987 Jefferson nickel. While it may seem like just another nickel at first glance, this coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and could be worth a lot more than you think. Stick around until the end to find out exactly how much this coin could fetch in today's market. Trust me, you'll be surprised. The 1987 Liberty 5-cent coin was minted in Denver, and it is part of the long-standing series of Jefferson nickels that has graced U.S. currency for decades. If you're familiar with U.S. coinage, you'll know that the Jefferson nickel has featured a profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, ever since its introduction in 1938. The 1987 version is no exception, with Jefferson's portrait featured on the obverse side, and the iconic Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse. The 1987 D is one of the more recent coins from the Jefferson nickel series, and although millions were minted, the 1987 D version is unique in its own way. To understand why this coin is so sought after by collectors, we need to talk about the concept of rarity and condition in the world of numismatics. Most coins produced in large quantities lose value over time as they circulate and experience wear and tear. However, some coins, especially those from specific years and mints, can stand out due to certain minting characteristics, errors, or preservation quality. For the 1987 D nickel, the true value comes when you find it in unblemished, uncirculated condition. A coin that has been kept in pristine condition can be worth much more than its face value. The minting process for these coins was done in large numbers, meaning the majority of them were used in day-to-day transactions and quickly became worn. Coins that remain in mint condition, however, are much rarer and much more valuable to collectors. Collectors and enthusiasts are always on the lookout for coins that have been well preserved, and this is where the 1987 D Liberty 5-cent coin stands out. Coins from this period, especially those that were stored properly and avoided heavy circulation, are often worth far more than people expect. If you happen to find an uncirculated 1987 D nickel in your collection or through a coin hunt, you could be sitting on something truly valuable. Another factor that can influence the value of a coin like this is minting errors. These types of anomalies occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process. A misstruck coin, an off-center strike, or a double die can create rare, unique variations that are especially valuable in the coin collecting world. Minting errors on coins are highly sought after because they are one of a kind, and collectors love the idea of owning something that has a story to tell. So, how much is the 1987 D Liberty 5-cent coin worth today? Well, it's safe to say that while most of these coins are still in circulation or are in average condition, a few of them, especially those in exceptional condition or with minting errors, have seen significant value increases. A well-preserved, uncirculated coin or one that features a rare minting error can command an impressive price on the open market. The 1987 D Liberty nickel has made waves among collectors in recent years for its surprising worth. If you find yourself with a pristine, uncirculated specimen, it could be worth a staggering $111,000. Yes, you heard that right, $111,000 for a single coin. That's a serious chunk of change for a nickel, and it just goes to show how much demand there is for these rare and highly collectible pieces. The 1987 D may not have been produced in as limited numbers as some older coins, but the key to its value lies in its condition and potential for rare minting errors. If you happen to have one of these special coins, you could be holding onto a treasure worth far more than you ever imagined. So, what can you do if you think you have a rare 1987 D Liberty 5-cent coin? The first thing you should do is check its condition. Is it well preserved? Is it free from scratches, dings, and other signs of heavy circulation? If it's in pristine condition, it's worth getting it professionally graded by a certified numismatist. The grade of the coin will significantly affect its value, so make sure to get an expert's opinion on its quality. If you're fortunate enough to own one of these rare coins or come across one during your coin collecting adventures, don't just spend it. Check it thoroughly for any minting errors or special qualities that make it stand out. And if you find one that is in mint condition or has a unique flaw, you might just be sitting on a gold mine, or rather, a nickel mine. In conclusion, the 1987 D Liberty 5-cent coin is more than just a simple piece of pocket change. It's a valuable collectible that, in the right condition, could be worth an astounding $111,000. If you're a coin collector, or even just someone who enjoys the thrill of finding hidden treasures, make sure to keep an eye out for this rare and highly coveted coin. Whether you have one in your collection already or you're just beginning your coin hunting journey, remember, the value of coins isn't always about what you see at first glance, it's about the condition, the rarity, and the story they tell. Third expensive coin, we're talking about the 1990p Liberty 5-cent coin, also known as the 1990 Jefferson nickel. While most of us are used to seeing these coins in our everyday pocket change, there's a lot more to this particular one than meets the eye. The 1990p Liberty 5-cent coin is part of the famous Jefferson nickel series, which was first introduced in 1938. The series has seen several design changes over the years, but one thing remains constant: Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, graces the obverse side of the coin. On the reverse side, you'll find the iconic Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, which has become synonymous with the coin's design. But why is the 1990p version of this coin so significant in the world of numismatics? The key lies in its rarity and condition. Coins like the 1990p nickel were produced in large numbers, and most of them circulated through the economy for many years. However, as with all coins, the condition in which they are preserved plays a huge role in determining their value. The most common coins you'll come across are those that have been in circulation for a while and show signs of wear. These are usually worth just their face value, 5 cents. But here's where things get interesting. If you come across a 1990p Jefferson nickel that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth significantly more. In fact, collectors are always on the lookout for well-preserved versions of this coin, and those that are kept in excellent condition can command surprisingly high prices. One of the most intriguing aspects of coin collecting is the potential for minting errors. These little anomalies can dramatically increase a coin's value. If you happen to find a 1990p nickel that has a rare minting error, such as a misstrike or a double die, something that sets it apart from the thousands of other standard coins, it could become a true gem in your collection. Minting errors are highly prized by collectors because they're unique, making each error coin a one-of-a-kind piece with a story to tell. If you're lucky enough to find a coin like this, it could be worth a small fortune. So, what's the value of the 1990p Liberty 5-cent coin? Well, it's not just any ordinary nickel. If you happen to find one in uncirculated condition, and even more so if it features a minting error, it could fetch a remarkable price. Collectors have been willing to pay top dollar for high-quality examples of this coin, and the market for these pieces is growing stronger each year. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: how much could a 1990p Liberty 5-cent coin be worth? If you've got one in excellent condition, you could be looking at a value of $71,000. Yes, you read that right, $71,000 for a single 5-cent coin. That's the kind of value that makes coin hunting so exciting and rewarding. So, if you've ever wondered whether it's worth checking your change or looking through old coin collections, the answer is a resounding yes. Now, how do you know if your 1990p Jefferson nickel is one of these rare, valuable coins? First, you'll want to carefully examine its condition. Look for any signs of wear or damage. If the coin still has sharp details, clear features, and no visible scratches or dings, it could be in great shape. Coins like this are often graded on a scale from good to mint state, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. The next step is to check for minting errors. If your coin shows any unusual features, like doubled features, off-center strikes, or other anomalies, it could be an error coin. Minting errors can be tricky to spot, so it's always a good idea to get the coin professionally graded by a certified numismatist. They'll be able to identify any unique characteristics that might increase the coin's value. The 1990p Liberty 5-cent coin is an excellent example of how even coins that are widely circulated can become highly valuable if they meet certain criteria. Whether it's the condition, the presence of a minting error, or simply the rarity of the coin, these factors all contribute to the potential worth of the coin. And when you combine these elements, you could find yourself holding a coin worth $71,000. So, if you're a coin collector or just someone who enjoys the thrill of discovering hidden treasures, make sure to keep an eye out for the 1990p Jefferson nickel. It could be the key to unlocking a substantial payday. If you have one in your collection already, take the time to inspect it carefully. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a valuable piece of American history that could be worth much more than you think. Now, we're diving into a truly fascinating piece of American coinage, the 1971 Liberty 5-cent coin, or more commonly known as the Jefferson nickel. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another nickel from the early 70s, but don't be fooled. If you know what to look for, this little coin could be hiding a significant amount of value. So, let's take a deeper look at why the 1971 Liberty 5-cent coin is so special and what makes it worth so much more than just 5 cents. The Jefferson nickel series, which began in 1938, has had several design updates over the years. The design that most collectors are familiar with, including the 1971 version, features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, the third President of the United States. He's depicted in a profile, with his iconic hairstyle and piercing gaze. On the reverse side, we see Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, a national landmark and a symbol of American history, but what sets the 1971 D apart from other nickels in the same series is its rarity and the condition in which it's found. While many coins from this era were minted and circulated, not all of them were preserved in pristine condition. The 1971 D nickels that were used in everyday transactions often show signs of wear and damage, diminishing their value. So, why is it that some of these nickels are commanding such impressive prices in today's market? Well, the answer lies in the coin's condition, scarcity, and historical significance. If you happen to come across a 1971 D Liberty 5-cent coin that is in excellent, uncirculated condition, you're in for a big surprise. Coins like these, kept in mint state, can be incredibly valuable. Remember, the condition is key when determining the worth of a coin. A well-preserved 1971 D nickel will have sharp, clear details, and it will be free from scratches, dings, and other imperfections. Coins in this condition are highly sought after by collectors because they represent a rare find in a world where most coins have been heavily circulated. However, the value of the 1971 D isn't just tied to its condition. The mint mark, specifically the D, tells us that this coin was minted in Denver, at the Denver Mint, one of the primary coin production facilities in the United States. Coins from certain mints, especially those with smaller production runs, can sometimes be more valuable due to their scarcity. Although the 1971 D nickel wasn't necessarily produced in limited numbers, its condition is what makes it stand out among its peers. If you happen to have a 1971 D Liberty 5-cent coin that's in exceptional condition, you may also want to check for any minting errors. Minting errors can drastically increase the coin's value. These errors can range from misstrikes to off-center designs, or even double dies. Error coins are extremely desirable to collectors because they are unique. Imagine finding a 1971 D nickel that has a noticeable misprint. Such a coin could be worth a small fortune. Now, you're probably wondering, just how much can a 1971 D Liberty 5-cent coin actually be worth? Well, depending on the coin's condition and the possibility of any rare minting errors, it could be worth a lot more than you'd expect. In fact, some collectors have been willing to pay substantial amounts for a coin like this when it meets the right criteria. And now, we come to the big reveal, the price. If you find yourself in possession of a 1971 D Liberty 5-cent coin that's in pristine condition, or if it features a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $80,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $80,000 for a single 5-cent coin. That's the type of value that makes the hunt for rare coins so exciting. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, finding a coin like this can turn an ordinary day into something extraordinary. So, how do you identify a 1971 D nickel that could be worth so much? The first thing you'll want to do is inspect the condition of the coin. Does it show signs of wear, or does it have sharp, clear features? Is the Monticello design on the reverse side in perfect detail? If the coin looks like it's been well taken care of and preserved, it could be a valuable find. Next, check for any minting errors. These can be tricky to spot, but they're one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting. Errors can happen during the minting process, and when they do, they create unique coins that collectors will pay top dollar for. If you suspect that your 1971D nickel has an error, consider getting it professionally graded by a numismatist. A certified professional can confirm whether your coin is truly a rare and valuable find. In conclusion, the 1971D Liberty 5 cents coin might seem like just another nickel at first, but when you dig deeper, you realize that it has the potential to be worth a small fortune. If you find one in excellent condition, or if you're lucky enough to find one with a minting error, you could be holding a coin worth $80,000. That's the kind of discovery that could change a collector's life. Last unique coin, we're going to be taking a close look at a rare and fascinating coin, the 1975D Liberty 5 cents coin. While this might look like just another nickel at first glance, you'd be surprised by how much value this coin can carry, especially if you know what to look for. So sit tight, and let's dive into the story of this coin and why it might be worth far more than you would expect. The 1975D Liberty 5 cents coin is part of the Jefferson nickel series, which has been circulating since 1938. This coin has the iconic profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on its obverse side. His face has graced this nickel for decades, becoming a familiar and beloved image. On the reverse, you'll find the image of Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia, which symbolizes the legacy of American democracy. Now, let's rewind a bit to 1975. This was an interesting year in U.S. history. America was in the midst of recovering from economic challenges, including the aftermath of the Vietnam War. Yet, amidst this turbulence, coin collectors were unaware that a significant event would be taking place under the radar: the minting of the 1975D Liberty 5 cents coin. While millions of these coins were produced, most of them were used in everyday transactions and didn't retain their value. This is common for most coins in circulation. However, what sets the 1975D apart from others is the combination of its mint mark, which signifies it was produced in Denver, and the rarity of well-preserved examples. The value of any coin is heavily dependent on its condition. A coin that's been passed through countless hands, dropped, or tossed around is likely to show signs of wear and tear. The 1975D nickel is no exception to this. Most of the coins you'll come across are in worn, circulated condition. But the real treasure lies in the ones that have been carefully preserved. You see, uncirculated coins, those that have been kept in perfect condition since their minting, are the real stars of the show. And in the case of the 1975D Liberty 5 cents coin, finding one in mint state is a rare occurrence. Over time, coins that have avoided damage and wear have become increasingly scarce. That's what makes a pristine 1975D nickel so valuable. These coins often have sharp details, clear designs, and little to no signs of use, and that's exactly what collectors are willing to pay a premium for. But there's another important factor to consider: rarity. Most coins of this era were produced in large quantities, but not all of them were stored properly or remained in circulation for long periods of time. That's why finding a mint-condition 1975D nickel is such a special find. The ones that survive in excellent condition are far fewer than you might think, making them much more valuable to collectors. Moreover, like all coins, some minting errors can drastically increase the value of the 1975D nickel. Minting errors, such as misstrikes, off-center designs, or even double-die varieties, can create one-of-a-kind coins that are highly sought after by collectors. A misstruck 1975D coin, for example, could be worth significantly more than a regular, well-preserved one. That's why coin collectors and enthusiasts always pay close attention to subtle differences in design, as those tiny variations can make a huge difference in the value of the coin. Now, I know you're probably wondering just how much a 1975D Liberty 5 cents coin could actually be worth. And that's the exciting part. Depending on its condition and any potential errors, this coin can fetch a serious amount of money. But the real question is, how much exactly? If you happen to find yourself in possession of an uncirculated 1975 Liberty 5-cent coin, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a jaw-dropping value of $67,000. Yes, you read that right, $67,000. Imagine finding a simple 5-cent coin, one that's been sitting in your collection or in your coin jar, suddenly turning into a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's this kind of discovery that makes coin collecting so thrilling. So how can you tell if your 1975 nickel could be worth that kind of money? First, inspect the coin closely. Check for any damage, scratches, or dings that might have occurred over the years. A coin that's still in mint condition will have sharp features and will look almost like it's freshly minted. Next, look for any errors. As I mentioned earlier, errors can drastically increase the value of the coin. If you spot anything unusual, it might be time to get your coin professionally graded by a numismatist. In conclusion, the 1975 Liberty 5-cent coin might seem like just another nickel at first glance, but it holds the potential to be much more. Its value comes from its condition, its rarity, and the possibility of minting errors. If you have a pristine 1975 nickel, or even better, one with a unique error, it could be worth $67,000. That's a lot of value packed into a small coin that most people would overlook. Thank you for joining me on this exciting coin journey. If you enjoyed learning about the 1975 Liberty 5-cent coin, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any future coin discoveries. Happy hunting, and remember, there's always treasure to be found in the world of numismatics.